This is going to be a full watch photography tutorial for beginners with budget equipment. We'll be using this photo as an example and I will walk you through all the steps that I'm taking while shooting this photo. So we see these elaborate and expensive setups on watch photography tutorials on YouTube where you have 5 different lights and 5 different softboxes and diffusion paper and flashes and everything. I mean, when I watched those tutorials, all I kept thinking was how expensive it's going to be. And it doesn't have to be. There's a simpler way. You see, instead of seeing a watch as one complete product, try breaking it down as a combination of 3 components: the dial, the case, and the bracelet or strap. When you are shooting watches, all you need to do is direct light at different components so that those components are evenly lit. Even in this photo that I've shared, you see that all the components of the watch, namely the dial, the case, and the bracelet, are evenly lit. But setting up the light is basically dependent on how you are styling the watch or any product. So let me walk you through my approach of styling this watch and you can take some cues from it. Now, in order to approach styling in watch photography or product photography in general, we need to think about 2 things: the product and the brand. Let's talk about the watch, which is a product. It looks elegant and classy but simple. The white dial with black numbers produces a very nice looking contrast. With the gold case, it almost looks like an attainable luxury watch. The brand Raketa Watches is iconic. It's an old Russian manufacturer which has been existing for a long time and it produces almost all the watch components by its own. This is very rare in the watch industry. And so all of this information makes me want to shoot a very minimalistic yet elegant photo. Such a photo will surely market this watch as an attainable luxury watch and will appeal to customers who are looking for something classy within the budget. And this is what I came up with. I'm only using this one book as a prop. And the idea is to place the book here on the edge of the table like this. And then I'll be placing this watch here on the edge of the book like this. So essentially we are creating a hero shot with a more classy and elegant feel. So before we start setting up the lights and shooting the watch, let's take a step back and talk about something very important. I see a lot of beginner photographers do these 4 mistakes. These mistakes are small but very serious. Even if you make at least one of them, your photo will be unusable no matter how good looking it is. So let's go through this checklist real quick. And the first one is to wear gloves. Watches are highly reflective and also they are a dust magnet. So if it's possible for you, I would really recommend wearing gloves so that you don't transfer the dust particles from your hand to the watch. The next thing that you need to do is to set the time on the watch to 10 past 10 or 10 to 2. And the reason is that the watch dial looks best when set to this time. The third thing is to take the crown out. We really need to take the crown out because we want the time to stop when shooting watches. And the last thing on this list is to wipe the watch so that we don't have any dust particles. I usually do this with a microfiber cloth. Now let's talk about camera settings and gear. For camera settings, there are only couple of things you should consider. First, always shoot in self timer. At least have a 2-second timer for this because this will eliminate all the camera shake and if your hands are also shaking a bit. Then try to keep the ISO as low as possible so that we don't have any noise. And if you really want to have a sharp image, always keep your aperture between f7 and f10. Right? The sweet spot is f8, but you can basically experiment. Regarding gear, I would recommend using a macro lens or a lens with longer focal length like this. This is a 50mm f2. And the reason I say this because watches, especially the dial of the watches, are very small, but they're highly detailed. And we really want to capture all those fine details and the beauty of those dials. So we really need to get very close to the watches. And that's only going to happen if you use macro lenses or something with a longer focal length. Now regarding lights, you should always go for anything above 150 watts. This will ensure that you have enough light intensity in your photo shoot even if you are using one light. And obviously a tripod. You cannot do anything without a tripod. You have a lot of blur, so a tripod I would say is a must. That's it. So now let's get on with light setup and shooting. Right, so this is my key light, like everybody says on YouTube, and this is a Godox SL153, and I've paired it with a softbox again from Godox, which is QRP90. The link to all of these products are in the description if you want to check them out. So this whole combination gives me a very soft diffuse light without compromising on brightness. So much so that I've never gone above ISO 500. Yeah, never. I didn't need to because this is so bright. Then I also have a second light because this is going to be a two light setup. So what is that? So this is going to be a second light. Please don't laugh, but yes, this is true. So I bought this LED panel from Amazon some time ago and I will show you why I need it. So this is the final setup and let me walk you through it. I have the key light here which is directed from the top onto the watch at 45 degrees. Then I have this whiteboard which I have positioned directly opposite to the watch. This actually will not be in that position for long because we have a different purpose for it and I will show you how. And then I have this LED light that I have positioned from the bottom and it's illuminating the dial and part of the strap or bracelet partially. So if you look at the photo now, you will see that the bottom part of the book, this one, the binding part, and some part of the dial and the bracelet is actually illuminated by this LED panel. Much of the part of the dial, the case, and the strap on the left hand side is illuminated by the key light. However, this lighting is uneven. All the areas of the watch are not lit properly. But I have a solution for this. Now remember that I told you that this whiteboard is not going to stay in this position. So instead of keeping this whiteboard on one position, I am going to move it. And as I move it, you can see that we have either we have unwanted reflections on the case or in this position, it is actually really nice. We have the whole gold case illuminated. And this is how you can basically shoot watches with a budget. So let's take a shot now and see how it looks. Now, if you look at this photo, you will see that couple of areas in this photo, like some parts of the dial and the watch strap are in focus. This is fine because we are going to use something called focus stacking. Now, I've already created a complete tutorial about focus stacking. You can check it out here where I explain everything, including editing. But in a nutshell, focus stacking is the process of taking the same photo multiple times where you keep changing the area of focus in each photo. And then in the end, you combine all the photos together in Photoshop or Lightroom or wherever you want, and the resulting image you get is very sharp and very clean, and then this is called a focus stacked composite image. So I will keep the camera settings the same and I will keep the camera and the tripod position the same. All I would do now is to move this light around the watch so that I illuminate all the different areas of the watch, and I will keep focusing on different areas of the watch every time. In the end, I will get this photo which is nicely and evenly lit, and has all the areas under focus. And so this is pretty much all about watch photography while starting out. I finally made a video after third try, but I had a lot of fun and I hope you did also. If you liked this tutorial, you can watch more tutorials like these 2 videos. I will see you in the next one. Bye.